The next thing I want to do is show you how to enter relay names. You'll likely end up being at a meet where there are relays. The meet director usually prints out relay cards, and either the administrative official or the meet director distributes them to the various coaches. And so if during the session there are relays, you'll be getting the relay cards in from the coaches with the relay names printed on them. So first, for each event in your session that has relays, I like to print out either a meet program or a psych report so I can keep track of the relay cards that I'm getting back to make sure I have them all. Sometimes, it may be a few minutes before an event and I don't have the relay cards back, and this is the easiest way for me to know which ones I'm missing. So if I go up here to report and I go down to psych sheet, I'm going to use as an example the fifth event, the women's 13-14 200-yard medley relay. And I'm going to print a psych sheet. I'm going to do it alphabetically because that's the easiest for me. So that's sort of filter sort order. Include in the psych sheet entry times. This is double. That's fine. It really doesn't matter. It's really just for my internal use. And I'm going to create a report. And so you see here, there's now a psych sheet for event 5 that lists the 8 teams, and it's in alphabetical order. The reason Fish is at the end is their official name is The Fish, so they start with T. And then when, for example, the ASA coach brings me their sheet of relay names, I can just either cross them off or check them off, and this way I can keep track of everything. So I make a sheet like this for every relay that I'm going to be dealing with. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. So there are 2 different ways to access the relays. This is the relay in question. I can use the relay tab up at the top of the run screen, or this is actually on the main menu also, or I can use relay names down here at the bottom. I'm first going to show you the top. So if I click relays, I'm going to get a screen that shows all the relay events that are in the meet. Okay, we're going to use 5, so I've got this highlighted up here. So for event 5, these are the relay teams that are entered into the meet with their entry times, their heat and lane. There are some clubs that have more than one team. So for example, RMSC has an A team and a B team. So does the Delaware swim team A and B relays. The athletes who are eligible to swim in the relay are listed here. So if the coach gives you a name that's not listed here, there's a problem. In this particular case, it's a women's 13-14. So all the swimmers who are listed here are women who are either 13 or 14. This is where the relay order is going to go. And these are the teams down here on the right that are eligible to swim in the relay. So let's say All Star Aquatics brings me their list. They only have one relay. I can either double click and the name will go into the next available slot, and it's important to have them in the right order, or I can drag and drop them. So I'll show you each. So let's say the first swimmer, according to the coach's information, is Amelia. I'm going to double click her. She's going to go into position 1. Allie is the second swimmer. I'm going to double click her. She'll go into position 2. The third swimmer is going to be Annabelle. Drag and drop. And then Jenna is going to be the fourth swimmer. Drag and drop. Oh, there we go. So now I've got my relay order. It's possible the coach may come up to you a few minutes later and say, oh, I'm changing my order. Give them their initial sheet so they can document what change they want to make. And let's say, for example, they want Allie to swim in the 4th position and Jenna to swim in the 2nd position. You can just switch them by dragging and dropping. So you can take Allie, oops, I deleted her here, I'm sorry, Allie, and drag her down, and you see automatically Jenna goes into her space. So they can just switch that way. Or you can delete them both, put Allie down into the 4th position, Jenna into the 2nd, Allie and Jenna. Okay, so however you want to do it. Either way is okay. Let's go down here to Rockville Montgomery. As you can see, they have a lot more eligible athletes. But also, let's say that Rockville Montgomery has decided to add a third relay, or what would be the C relay. So it's already been seated, and if you look up here in the heat and lanes, you can see that we filled lanes 1 through 8. So the administrative official, and again, you need paperwork to document this, but the administrative official may say, go ahead and put them in lane 9, okay? So I'm going to scroll down here to RMSC. I'm going to highlight them, and I'm going to double click. And a relay designator pops up, and it automatically puts in the next letter, which would be C. So that's what I want. So I'm just going to click OK, and all of a sudden, I now have the Rockville Montgomery C relay, and I don't have an entry time, but I know that I was told to put them in Heat 1, Lane 9. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let's say in the A relay are going to be these first 4 swimmers, Melina, Candace, Caden, and Alex. And let's say the B relay I'm given by the coaches are Anastasia, Catherine, Maya, and Molly. And then the C relay is going to be Malia, Ashley, Vivian, and Abby. So I now have the names in the for all 3 relays. And as you can see, they're highlighted, and it's indicated what relay they're going to be in. If a coach comes over and tells you, well, I don't want Molly Benson in the B relay, I want her to be the last swimmer in the C relay, and I want Abby Carr to be the last swimmer in the B relay, you can't just switch them because they're in different relays. And you can't add a swimmer to a relay who's already in another relay. So the easiest thing to do would be to take the 2 swimmers out. So I take Abby out in the C relay, then I go back to the B relay. I don't want to delete it. And I take Molly out. And then I'd put Abby into the B relay. And I'd go down to the C relay and put Molly. So I've made that change. So I show you that just to point out that you may want to delete a swimmer from a relay before rearranging swimmers from different relays. So I did Rockville Montgomery ASA. I would do the same for all the other teams. And once I have all the teams, I can print lane timer sheets that include the relay names. This screen enables me to go to any other relay. So if I'm also getting the men's and the women's at the same time as the names are coming in, I can toggle between the 2, add relay names, and this is an easy way to enter the relay names. But there's another way to do it. As you see here, there's a relay name tab as a shortcut. And if I click this button, it's going to take me to event 5. So right now I'm only in event 5. I've got all the teams that are listed in the appropriate lane. Remember, we put the Rockville Montgomery Swim Club in lane 9. And now I can do the same thing. The eligible athletes are listed over here. So let's say Delaware is going to have, let's go to the Delaware A relay first. Let's say Bella, Catherine, Logan, and Emma are going to be the A relay. And then the B relay are these swimmers. And again, if I need to switch anyone, I can take them out. I can drag them, just like I could on the other screen. So this relay name tab only takes you to the relay event that is highlighted over here. These buttons don't do anything. So that's another way to enter relay names if you're just dealing with a single event. Once you have all the relay names, you've got all your little psych sheets and you've checked them off, and the event is going to be running 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, you should print out the lane timer sheets with the relay names. So let me just show you here. If I go into reports, lane timer sheets, I'm going to click the correct session. It's a little bit bigger than usual. And let's say I'm interested in the event I was just doing, event 5. 2 events or lanes per page, and you can do it either lane event or event lane, doesn't really matter. And here I'm going to do all 10. And you can see under relay athlete names, I've listed 4 because there are 4 swimmers in each relay. So if I click create report, okay, lane 10 doesn't have a team. Lane 9 is lane 1, I'm sorry, is Hydrosonic Tiburoons. And here you see the 4 listed. You've got the Fish with 4 swimmers, Parkland with 4 swimmers. So here are now lane timer sheets with the relay names listed. And then the lane timers will actually have the information they need to check the swimmers to make sure they're swimming in the correct order. They can make any adjustments as necessary. When the lane timer sheets come back to you after a relay is swum, you need to carefully check them to make sure that there aren't any changes to the relay order. Teams are allowed to change the relay order up until the time they swim, and they can just tell the lane timers, oh, we're swimming in a different order, this is the order we're swimming in, or someone different is swimming, and it's perfectly acceptable for the lane timers to make the correction on the lane timer sheet. So it's very, very important to review the lane timer sheets after a relay to check the names.